Hi, I'm Dozier, the Executive Director of the Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency. Here at the agency, we've been working for the past 80 years to provide much-needed resources to our community. We work throughout the city and county of Sacramento. Our employees are dedicated and passionate about the work that they do. We make sure that over 50,000 residents every night have a decent, safe, and sanitary place to live and to sleep. Our agency is committed to diversity. We are reflective of the community that we serve. We make sure that we provide opportunities. Opportunities for our residents to enhance their quality of living. It's not just about bricks and mortar and a place to live. It really is about changing lives. In addition, we focus on our employees. We make sure that we provide them with opportunities to grow, to advance, and to really be all of the things that they want their career to be. It is so important as a Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency that we make sure that we expand our reach, and we've been able to do that through the Sacramento Promise Zone. This federal initiative has been key to making sure that we are reaching out to you as partners to come together and to really work collaboratively and provide much needed resources to those people who need it most. Tyrone, I think it's very important for our partners to understand why we took on this designation as a Promise Zone.
Well, taking on the challenge of the Sacramento Promise Zone is really an outgrowth of our agency's commitments to improving the lives of residents. As a housing authority, we serve those residents. But throughout the city, there are neighborhoods, underserved neighborhoods, that have residents that are in need of improving their lives. And the whole purpose for the Promise Zone is to improve outcomes. And we focus on 5 core areas that include education, job training and placement, economic development at the neighborhood level. We focus on sustainable, livable communities and looking at improving health outcomes. At the core of it all, our partnerships were created to expand opportunities to improve the outcomes of our residents throughout our underserved communities here in the Sacramento area.
Tyrone, could you share why, at this point in time, the Sacramento Promise Zone is so important?
The Promise Zone is important right now because of what's going on right now. The areas that I mentioned that we've been focusing over the last 5 years, all of those areas are under critical pressure right this minute. When we talk about healthcare and nutrition, the whole COVID-19 pandemic has laid bare the deficiencies between the healthcare systems and access to healthcare in different neighborhoods. And at every point, it's our Black and brown residents who are at greater risk, not only of contracting the virus, but also not surviving the virus. When we talk about education and our role in expanding education opportunities for those who are in school and going on to college, this whole pandemic has disrupted the entire education system. And the kids who suffer the worst are the kids who are in many of our Promise Zone neighborhoods. So our work with the superintendents and the school districts and our partners who've been providing access to online training and computers and broadband connections, all of that work is now more important than ever. We look at sustainable neighborhood revitalization. A key component of that is community safety. And there's never been a more poignant conversation in the last several decades about community safety and policing than it is now. So our work with our community partners that include the police department as well as organizations in the communities, having those hard conversations are so important to helping us move forward. So it is a blessing to have the Promise Zone infrastructure in place at this point to be able to improve the disparities and the inequalities that have existed for decades. And we're doing that with our partners, and that's why our partners are so important at this present time. Julius, you work with our partners on a daily basis. Could you talk to us about how important partnership is, particularly at this point in time?
Well, I think it's great that we've already done the work to set the foundation, to build the relationships, and create the infrastructure of partnership and collaborative work. We have already increased the impact of current projects, programs, and initiatives, worked on creating new ones. And I think under the current climate, we have a great opportunity to recognize that there's been systemic issues that have created great disparities, and specifically for the Black community. And we can challenge ourselves to have the tough conversations, do the tough work to create better outcomes for the Black community specifically. And we know that that in turn is going to also impact everyone else in the Sacramento Promise Zone. And that will only happen if we are collaborating together and working together.
In closing, I really want to make sure I thank all of the partners who have been working so hard over the past 5 years to deliver much needed services to our underserved communities. It's why we took on the challenge of the Sacramento Promise Zone. We knew it was important to make sure that those people had a voice, that the individuals had the resources, and they had access. So now is the time for us to really step up. Now is the time for all of us to come together. And now is the time for us to deliver on the promises we made in the Sacramento Promise Zone.